Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. We got a question from Melbourne, Australia today.
G'day, mate.
About leather shoes. Stay tuned. All right, I got Coach Rob with me. We're kind of tired of reading off a little font and phones, so we did poster size question today. Give me a hand there, Coach. We'll hold this together.
All right.
Okay, my name is Richard and live in Melbourne, Australia. Yes, home of the Australian Open. I've been watching and thoroughly enjoying many of your YouTube videos, and also was and am a tennis equipment geek. I'm middle-aged now and used to play seriously in my 20s, but took time out from the game due to family and other interests. Over the past few years, I've gotten back into the game again and found tennis enjoyment once again. Coming back, I've bought some new gear, rackets, clothes, etc. But one thing I found quite curious are tennis shoes. In my younger days, there were full upper leathers which molded to my feet well and lasted a decent time. They were nice and comfy. I don't see any shoes with full leather uppers anymore. I gather synthetics are cheaper to make and don't last as long, which keeps the shoe manufacturers in business. Okay, so we're gonna cover this for you, Richard. Coach Rob, what are your thoughts of leather shoes?
I think back in the day, Stan Smiths, those were the ones we were kind of rocking. Those are even still fashionable now.
Yep.
Those, if I remember, were all leathered on the top. I think they were hot. If I remember, my feet they didn't breathe very well.
Yeah.
Unlike the mesh tops nowadays. So
I'm a little surprised you said Stan Smith because the Wilson Pro Staffs came in leather too.
Right. Sorry, Wilson. But I think the Stan Smiths came first.
Is that right?
I remember Stan before I remember Wilson making a shoe.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I remember
Somebody can fact check that.
So the Stan Smiths came in leather and the Rod Lavers came in kind of a mesh
top, right?
And then the Pro Staffs came in a full leather and it also came in a mesh. Yep.
Right.
So I think that it's a lot easier to make synthetics now. I mean, you can just dial up the material. I mean, it's essentially like a plastic compound that's like a poly blend kind of a thing that they make so thin. So, I mean, you can manufacture it without cows. You know what I mean? You don't need to skin a cow to make your shoe. So, you know, you don't need to own a farm of cows or be near a slaughterhouse where they're doing steaks or something like that in order to make your tennis shoes.
Moving on.
Man, you need a cow to make your shoe, though. If you think about it, that actually causes issues, right? Because if you can't get the skin, you can't make the shoes. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? But to Coach Rob's point, leather is hot. Leather is hot. Living in Australia, you probably, I don't know if you play indoors, but in your temperature, your feet are probably sweating a lot over there because it's cooking in that leather. No matter how many holes you put in that leather, it's hot. With the synthetic stuff, they can actually make it breathe a little bit more. I'm not saying a lot, but you're definitely not cooking in the leather. The other thing about leather too is my fat feet didn't really fit in Stan Smiths, and it didn't really fit in those Pro Staffs because it seemed really narrow to me and really pinched my feet for like weeks. Like my little toe would be crying for 2 weeks. I'm surprised you didn't mention any of that.
My foot liked the Pro Staff.
Okay.
So I didn't mind wearing those. I thought they were better than the other options we had going at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
no pain at all in the first.
I can't remember that far back, but nothing that sticks with me.
I remember limping for 2 weeks. Like, man, to break them, I would take out a hammer to beat the shoes up.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was. I mean, I had fat feet, and it seemed like I was wearing a woman's shoe. You know, it was that tight in my foot, and I'm like, man, when is this gonna break in? But that's just my memories of it. I'm surprised Richard has fond memories of leather, because, I mean, it wasn't user friendly, I have to say. Those were my bad memories of leather. There actually is still leather shoes made. K-Swiss still makes one. It's only one model though, and I think it's still available. But look that up, K-Swiss. I think every company except for Nike and Adidas makes a leather shoe still. Look at New Balance also. Everybody still makes one. They're just not as popular as they used to be. Would you wear a leather shoe these days?
No.
It's probably heavier too. Think about it that way. A leather shoe is also heavier because it is leather, right? You can't thin it out, or at least you got to pound it out to make it thinner. So the quality control is probably a little bit different. Coach Rob, any final words on leather?
Glad they've advanced technology.
All right. Well, since it's raining out here, leather ain't going to do well in the rain either. Coach Rob, thank you so much.
Sure.
All right. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Yo, where are you? It's wet. What are you talking about? It's wet. It's barely wet out here. It's rain? What? It's not even raining. Come on, man. Let's get some tennis in, dude. All right. Fine. Jesus, it's not even raining. Okay. All right. We'll try again another day. Do you want a partner who's reliable, who'll play with you no matter what condition? Player Court is the place. They got over 27,000 people who will play with you. Check out playyourcourt.com/tennis spin and find your perfect partner.